Southwest Mississippi. It's Thursday morning and time for Thursday Open Lines, your weekly look at what's happening in and around our area. If it's happening in Southwest Mississippi, you'll hear it right here on TOL. Now, from our studios in downtown Brookhaven, it's Thursday Open Lines with your host, Kenny Goza.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Thursday Open Line. We have a good show today. I just want to mention at the Mississippi School of the Arts tonight, they're having a spring dance concert. It's at 7 o'clock in Enix Hall Black Box Theater. That's tonight at 7. It is the spring dance concert. And then in a couple of weeks, they got Mamma Mia coming up. We're going to have them on, I think, in a couple of weeks, around the 19th, to talk about that. But just a lot goes on at the School of the Arts, and we're so glad to have them in our Brookhaven area. Appreciate all that Miss Suzanne and her staff do over there. Well, my first guest today is Bill Perkins. And, Bill, you're with the Camellia show that's in its 73rd year. That's a long time. That's kind of like as old as me and you are, I think.
Well, that's at least 3 generations. At least that's been in our family, the Perkins family. We've been active in it since 1953 was when I think my dad first established it. But we've gone nonstop with an annual show. It's a competition of blooms. It's our 73rd. We've never missed a year.
And that's coming up this weekend?
It'll be on Saturday. This Saturday the 7th.
And where will it be?
At the Brookhaven Building, formerly called the FEMA Building. People still want to call it that, but anyway, it's the Brookhaven Building, and blooms will be entered between 8:30 and 10:30. And if you don't know what you have, don't be reluctant to come down and bring some blooms from your yard, because we have a very easy, simple category section of the show, which is just going to be local growers from around here. Could be from Macomb, Natchez, anywhere around here. Then you don't know what you have. There's going to be just 4 categories: pink, red, white, and stripe, which is variegated. And there will be prizes. So you can just bring your blooms, show them off. Don't worry about it. All you do is just put your name and phone number on it under your bloom, and after you prepare it with a little glass cup and some water, and you'll see how that's done. It's very easy. And put that on that table. We'll have more participation from the local area that way. Don't worry, you don't know what you've got. Somebody might tell you that's a pink perfection. They may tell you what you have, and you can keep that in mind in the future. And then they'll be up at 10:30. The judges start going around and judging all the blooms. And at 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon is public viewing. Everything is free thanks to our sponsors. So the blooms go in the morning for ones who want to enter their blooms into the competition. That's from 8:30 to 10:30. And then from 2 to 5 will be public viewing. Just come out there and you can see there are usually 800 to 1,000 blooms out there, and you'll be surprised what a camellia can look like. There's some real serious growers in the region. We'll have judges and participants coming from all the surrounding states and Mississippi. So our show holds its own against the other bigger clubs like, say, Pensacola, Mobile, New Orleans, Covington, Baton Rouge. We're right there with them. Most of those shows have the same people coming to Brookhaven. They look forward to coming to Brookhaven. We have quite a reputation of being a strong Camellia Society here.
What's the furthest away that someone comes to participate?
I think this time it's going to be Greenville, Georgia, which is actually Greenville, Alabama. It's so close to Atlanta, it's almost in Georgia. But I think that's the furthest I know of someone coming this time. It's a good 6-7 hours drive for them to get here.
And you said how many entries?
They're usually around 800 to 1,000.
That's what, yeah.
Years ago, in the good old days when people had large greenhouses, and it was even stronger. It was in the thousands, 2,000 to 3,000 at one time. But these days, all the shows around here are usually 800 to 1,000 blooms.
Is there a cost to enter?
No, there's no charge to enter and no charge to come view in the afternoon. We'll mention this, that the Lincoln County Master Gardeners, at the closing of the show, most shows just throw their blooms away, and they're gorgeous. The Master Gardeners years ago stepped up, and they will come pick them all up and bring them to assisted living facilities around here so the residents there can enjoy these beautiful blooms. So they get a second purpose.
repurpose them and for a good cause.
And for a good cause, yes. It's a bit of work for them to do that, but it's well worth it. We get a lot of smiles in the assisted living centers around Brookhaven.
Do you want to mention your sponsors? You say, I
didn't bring the list. I hate to do that because I might miss somebody. You know how that goes.
They make it possible, and that's awesome to have.
Yeah, most of them are routine every year, but of course it's most of the banks and a couple of law firms and a few others. Hearst Reviews always helped us. And this year, actually, Donna Case at Buds and Blooms, she's having her spring sale Friday and Saturday. We're always in a direct clash with that and T. Tommy's car show. Yet she has let us promote our Camellia show out there at Buds and Blooms with a sign out there, and also given us camellias to use in the raffle and to support. I mean, she's just a great person. But anyway,
yes. Yeah, her and Dusty.
Yeah, and so there's a lot going on. I know the thing about the big car show is it's usually over by 1 o'clock, something like that. Well, the public viewing is from 2 to 5. It's a few minutes away out at the Brookhaven building, so people in town, they can go out there, no cost, and go out and do something else the same day. It's not really, in a way, it's not a clash. It's actually, we can actually piggyback on each other.
Well, Bill, how many local growers are there in Lincoln County?
Well, we've had about up to 50 members of the Camellia Society here in Brookhaven, and I think they all have camellias. But if you look around Brookhaven or the countryside, what you'll see it's in color in the wintertime, because it's a winter plant. The blooms are in the winter. They're evergreen plants in the tea family. But it's one of the few things that blooms in the winter. Although our winter seesaws back and forth, we have azaleas blooming when the warm spells through our so-called winter down here in Brookhaven. But camellias are that's their period from like late September, October, all the way up to into late March. But by the way, our show is the latest show in the region. All the other ones I mentioned, Pensacola, Mobile, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Covington, they've already had their shows, and I've been to a few of them. But they have theirs early. We have the last one. It gets into garden show time, and so but we get plenty of blooms in spite of being the last one. And if you look around right now, there are blooms a lot of places.
I guess I don't know how to identify that. So what does the camellia bloom when you're riding around? If you see one, what does it look like?
Well, the plants, once you
is it something
once
in the
you
greenhouse?
recognize the plant, you're going to see it's going to have dark green leaves on it.
Okay.
And I can tell you right now, if you want to see one that's just glorious, go to First Baptist Church in their parking lot. We don't know what it is, but it is just covered with bright red, dark red blooms. I've never seen one so prolific to have so many, and I hope somebody will bring some of those blooms to the show, because they can put them in the red category and probably win the red category. But once you recognize one, you'll know what you're seeing. By the way, Macomb is the Camellia city of Mississippi, they say, of the country. They don't have a Camellia Society, and they, like Natchez, have camellias everywhere. If you just start looking at them, it's like people say, Bill, where'd you get that bamboo? I said, that's bamboo everywhere. Just start looking for it. It's out there.
Yes, that's right. It's everywhere. Well, let's talk about when and where. You said it's this weekend, but it's going to be at the Brookhaven building.
Brookhaven building, 8:30 to 10:30. You can bring entries. At 2 to 5 will be the public viewing. And by the way, if any parents have a hardworking son or daughter, tell them to give me a call, and because I need some more help with the show for people to assist in helping the judges and other activities out there at
getting
the show.
Some community service hours.
Community service hours, right? My number is 601-757-4502.
It's a late entry. How late can you?
No, 10:30 we cut off because
okay.
The judges are going to have they already have their round up their clerks. We call them the young people. Usually are just people here in Brookhaven that are. I've actually got 2 coming up at 25 years old. 2 girls from New Orleans to help driving up on Saturday to be clerks that assist the judges with their duties. But at 10:30 the judging will start. The entries will be over at that time. So try to get there earlier than that. But like I say, if you don't know what you have, it's real simple. You walk in, you'll have probably some index cards cut in 2, and all you do is write your name and phone number down on that, prepare your balloon, go put it on the table in red, pink, white or striped, and you're good to go. You may win something.
Okay, well, good. Well, Bill, we're glad to have. I know you got everything you said you had to do this morning. Wanted to get you in to promote that. Hope you have a good weekend, Randy. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back. I think we got some. I don't know who's coming up next. We got some good guys out there, and we're just going to surprise y'all with our next guest. All right.
I keep hearing you're concerned about my happiness, but all that thought you're giving me is conscience, I guess. If I were walking in your shoes, I wouldn't worry none. Are you and your friends are worried about me? I'm having lots of fun, counting flowers on the wall. That don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51.
Does your bank really know you? This is Shannon Aker at Bank of Brookhaven. We take the time to get to know our customers and clients, providing the products you need to make banking easier. Whether it's a loan, remote deposit, or online banking, we're the bank that you can count on that knows you. Remember, friends, for over 25 years now at Bank of Brookhaven, it's all about you. Bank of Brookhaven, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are back again for our second segment. I want to mention our sponsors: Bank of Brookhaven, King's Daughters Medical Center, Brookhaven Recreation Department, Lincoln County Civic Center, Toyota Brookhaven, Copiah Lincoln Community College, you just heard that's the place to be, and Rapid Oil Change. I want to also mention that tonight at the Mississippi School of the Arts, the Spring Dance Concert, starting at 7 o'clock in Enoch Hall, Black Box Theater. That's tonight at 7 o'clock, and soon they'll be doing a production of Mamma Mia. We're going to have Jennifer or whoever on in a couple of weeks to talk about that. But now we're going to talk about Farmbelt. Taylor, y'all were in a year and a half ago, maybe, when the building was kind of being remodeled a little bit.
Yeah. So we actually moved in about a year ago.
Well, let me say we got Taylor Newman and Will Lofton in from Farmbelt. We couldn't get Bradley in. I don't know why.
I think he's scared he's going to do so good. They're going to be wanting him to take your spot.
He's going to be the voice of Farmbelt.
That's right.
And he could take my spot. Well, if he wants it, he could have it now, I guess. But anyway, we're glad you guys are in. I know that y'all have a big weekend planned, so go ahead.
Yeah, so we moved in about a year ago, but even though we moved in, we weren't finished. And we've finally gotten past that hurdle, and we are all fired up about the new facility, and it is working great. And we're excited to get everybody out there and then come check it out and see what the new home looks like. You
mentioned that you got ribbon cutting tomorrow.
We do.
Then you've got a big event coming up the whole weekend, kind of the grand opening, or what do you call it, Orange Day?
Yes, so Orange Days is a nationwide event within Kubota. You come out Friday or Saturday. It's a 2-day event for Orange Days. You come out Friday or Saturday, you can scan a QR code, and you're going to get up to $2,000 worth of money off of products. Different models have different amounts. Mowers have an amount, tractors have an amount, construction stuff, but it's up to $2,000 off. You can use that for a limited amount of time. It doesn't have to be spent Friday. But if you come get the QR code, you got the money if you want to spend it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. So come by and scan the QR code is what I'm getting at.
Absolutely. I had a guy with me last week, in fact, and we were riding down 84, and he said, "Man, what? That's a lot of inventory over there." And I told him, I said, "Well, I know some guys that work over there," and I said, "They're not just local. I know you and I have talked about that before. You are kind of nationwide on product that you're selling, right?"
We are. So our main territory that we sell to is probably within 100 miles of Brookhaven. But at times, I had a guy call me from up in the Midwest last week looking for a specific tractor. He couldn't find it. We were as close to him as he could find it. Yeah, we cover a lot of area, but for the bulk of it, it's within about 100 miles of Brookhaven.
Mr. Will, get you in here. We see each other at the ballpark quite a bit, especially in fall and spring.
Absolutely.
But you want to talk about the weekend?
Yeah, so we've got our grand opening event Saturday, 10 to 2. We will have bounce houses for kids. Lincoln County's 4-H department will be there selling concessions. have a lot of demos. You've heard of people having touch-a-truck type events. We'll have a touch-an-equipment type of event where kids can come around, climb on equipment. We'll have some demos of some products being used. We've got a vendor bringing a big self-contained trailer to show off some of their implements. And you just have a lot of good stuff going on. Just, come by, check us out, come hang out a little bit.
What's happening tomorrow with the ribbon cutting? What time is that?
So the ribbon cutting with the chamber will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to take a company-wide picture with them and do that ceremony. We're excited about that.
Right.
We may have to shut down things for about 5 minutes to handle it, but just work with us. Like I said, Orange Days is Friday and Saturday. Will said the grand opening is from 10 to 2 Saturday.
Tomorrow's just the ceremony of the ribbon cutting.
That's right. And you can still get the coupons tomorrow, but Saturday from 10 to 2 is that grand opening. That's at 1:30 Saturday. We're giving away some stuff. We're giving away a lawnmower.
Like a zero turn?
I also forgot to mention we have tickets as you come through Saturday and tomorrow that you can fill out for those free giveaway drawings for some products that'll be drawn at 1:30.
So the grand prize is obviously a 60-inch lawnmower.
Okay.
Will's got a range of steel equipment, blowers, chainsaws, things like that. We're giving away a solo stove. I believe it's a Yeti cooler.
Some kind of cooler like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, it's stuff all throughout the day, but we're drawing those names out for that stuff. So come by, fill out a couple tickets, and
now the drawing's going to be randomly throughout the day, or at one time you're going to do all the drawings.
The main prizes will be at 1:30 on Saturday. That's right. And you don't have to be present at 1:30 to win. So if you come through, check everything out, bring your kids, let them jump on the bouncy, check some stuff out, throw a couple tickets in there at 1:30. Even if you're not there, you can still win some stuff. Some pretty good prizes.
It sounds like it, especially a 60-inch more.
Yeah.
That's a nice little gift.
Absolutely.
Somebody's going to walk away with a good one there.
They are.
We talked about it when you were here before when the remodeling was going on, and just that 84 corridor with Southern Ag across the road from y'all, Farmbelt, the church, other things. It's just a good little corridor that's created there, and it's just it kind of is a good entry point into Brookhaven, I think, for people to driving in from east or west to see that.
No doubt, we love our location. And you mentioned the church, the cross across the road. We enjoy pulling up and looking at every morning, that sun coming up. And anyway, it just we're in a great area, like you said, entering into Brookhaven. Brookhaven's a great town. A lot of people come from outside of Brookhaven to shop and do business, not just with Farmbelt, but other businesses in the area. And that's kind of that main entry point.
That's and you make a point there, and I just kind of chasing the rabbit a little bit. But when you go into like Brookway and you look at, and I'm sure you just mentioned it, it's your business, looking at the tags, there are multiple county of tags shopping in our area, which speaks well of our community.
Absolutely.
Again, I mentioned the guy that was with me in the car, and he ended up staying downtown for the night, and he was just bragging on how our downtown area, just how vibrant and alive it is.
You talked about chasing a rabbit. The people involved at the with Katie and them at the chamber have done a fantastic job alongside of business owners in our community, and as long as that keeps happening, Brookhaven's going to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And that's something we're excited about.
Well, the entrepreneurial mindset that we have here, Clark and David opening this business up, other people that open up businesses and they buy into a franchise, but they're making the investment to open the business up. And I just saw something in the Clarion Ledger about a strip mall, a little strip shop coming in to Brookhaven, and we just keep growing little by little. And but we're excited about Kubota being out there. Again, we hate that Bradley didn't come on with us today, but when you get back, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of calls to the store wanting to know how come he wouldn't come on.
I think people are genuinely disappointed. Who doesn't want to hear Bradley?
I heard, though, you did mention that there was possible threats about him coming. I mean, is that right?
No. Nobody would make any threats. Okay. But I will, we're excited about Friday and Saturday. Come out, like Will said, the 4-H is going to be there selling hamburgers and hot dogs and drinks. That in itself is worth coming out and supporting those guys.
The 4-H.
Everybody's got to eat lunch. Swing by, buy a burger and a drink from them, take it home, eat it there, walk around, come out and support those guys. In the meantime, enter in a chance to win something.
But yeah, to echo the 4-H, like come out and support them if you can. We've got 2 young kids that are going to be the primary cooks that, take that serious and want to be involved in what their thing is. So,
well, last week on the radio, we had someone from Boy Scouts of America. You don't hear a whole lot about that anymore, and it's almost the same with 4-H. I was in 4-H when I was when I was a kid, and actually had some animals that did some shows, stuff like that. But you just don't hear a lot about 4-H anymore, and that's something that's just such a good leadership opportunity for kids, and for them to come out and be willing to be there on a Saturday speaks of their investment into the 4-H.
Well, and in today's world, everybody wants something, and these kids are out there trying to earn something. And I think if the least we can do is come by and buy a burger from them for their efforts and help support them, I think that's a great cause.
Will, is there a particular product that kind of leads the pack a little bit on sales? Is it lawnmower, tractors?
It's
or is it across the board?
It can come and go. I'd say lawnmowers is probably the biggest product, just simply because down here where we live, most everybody cuts their own grass still. We also have several commercial guys, but I'd say lawnmowers, and then also the ag and the construction equipment are still pretty prominent as well.
Just getting 'tis the season for lawnmower cutting.
Absolutely.
Grass cutting. I've already cut mine once. My neighbors say I cut it if it gets a shadow on it or something, but that it's that time of year, and you would think probably now the lawnmowers, later on in the season, different pieces of equipment. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's something Kubota has done a fantastic job over the years of diversifying, because when you think about from a seasonal standpoint, mowers are huge right now. Construction equipment, those businesses need that stuff year round. With the farmers, planting season, harvest season. So instead of it being a seasonal business, because they've diversified it so well, a side-by-side for the deer camp or riding around the property, riding your grandkids on, it is truly a 12-month product.
Well, I think you make a good point there in the fact of the diversity of your products. So if you're listening and you haven't been by Farmbelt, it's a very diverse inventory of products there, and not just outside on what you can see from the highway, but probably products inside.
Yes, sir.
The weed eaters, the blowers, the
lawn care chemicals, just hardware-ish type tools for lawn care or ag. We try to have a pretty big selection across the board.
And then your service department being able to service the product.
Yeah. Our service department and our parts department make my job very easy. I'm just going to be frank. You can go buy a lawnmower from anywhere, but you're not going to get the service from anywhere like you're going to get at Farmbelt equipment. You need a set of blades or an oil filter or a belt. Everybody's been there, and sometimes it's hard to find one.
Right.
We've got them. We're not perfect. We don't have everything, but we try to. And, so that parts department and service department does a phenomenal job, like I said, of making my job very easy.
Well, it's the old adage of I'll pay for service. I'll pay a little bit more for service. And if you're willing to go the extra mile to find that.
The second mile service.
The second mile service, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, tell it again. Tomorrow's ribbon cutting at what time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Come out and hang out there, see them cut the ribbon, and then come back. Nothing after that.
No, yeah. So Friday is kind of business as usual, but it's the Orange Days event also for those discounts. Saturday from 10 to 2 is the grand opening, and it's going to be fun. We're super fired up about it.
Well, we're super fired up to have y'all in Brookhaven. Appreciate all that y'all do out there. And so we're going to take a break, Randy. And if you get a chance, get out to Farmbelt this weekend.
proud to share some big news with our community. Toyota Brookhaven is the first dealership in Southwest Mississippi to earn the Distinguished Toyota President's Award.
This is Toyota's highest honor, recognizing dealerships that go above and beyond with customer satisfaction, sales performance, service, and overall operations.
What makes this award truly special is you. From all of us at Toyota Brookhaven, thank you. This award belongs to you. Toyota Brookhaven, your trusted hometown choice.
Okay, we're back, and let me mention, as on the last segment, our sponsors. We appreciate them so very much. The Bank of Brookhaven, King's Daughters Medical Center, Brookhaven Recreation Department, Lincoln County Civic Center, Toyota Brookhaven, Kapile Lincoln Community College, Rapid Oil Change. We just can't thank them enough for help sponsoring the show. And if you'd like to do that, help us out, get in touch with Ben Seals here at SuperTalk. I want to mention one more time, the Mississippi School of the Arts tonight is a dance concert, spring dance concert at Enoch Hall, 7 o'clock tonight. And I do not see where it's ticketed. It's just come and enjoy the students there at the School of the Arts, which we're so glad to have in our area. Well, one of the favorite things we like to talk about quite often when they have something going on there is Exchange Club Park, kind of a legacy landmark of Lincoln County. If you've been here very long, you know about the Exchange Club Park Fair, and we have with us Mr. Roger Leggett. I asked him, did he draw the short straw? But no, he wanted to come talk about the fair, which starts tonight or tomorrow night. Okay.
Be Friday and Saturday night, the 6th and the 7th. Friday, Saturday night, 13th and 14th.
And next weekend too?
Yes.
Okay, that's next weekend. 13th, right. 14th. What times is it running?
The times run on Friday. We run from 6 to 9. And then on Saturday, we go from 5 to 8.
You know, we always talk about it, Mr. Roger, that when Miss Barbara's been on, Mr. Bill, the turnout for the Exchange Club Fair and the people, when I mention it's a landmark, it's a legacy event here in Lincoln County, people come back to Brookhaven for the fair, don't they?
They do. But unfortunately, our attendance is really down. And that's one of the things I want to urge them there. The Exchange Club Park is more than owned by the Exchange Club. We feel like it's owned by the city of Brookhaven, County of Lincoln.
And the community.
That's right. It's a community thing. And so we're hoping for support. Come out and see it and see if we can get these younger generations attentive to it and enjoying it and trying to have a good time. And it's difficult. As many know, we're sitting here in the studio talking about ball games and things like that, how different it is.
So much going on.
So much going on.
Which is a good
so
thing.
Many activities. That's true.
It's a good thing, but it's also we're so many diversions away from things that we didn't have back in the day. You didn't have many options.
That's right. And we're trying to do a few different things. Like this particular fair will be the first time we've built a stage out there, and we're pretty well have entertainment for each night there, where Mom and Dad or Grandma and Grandpa can come sit, listen, and watch, and we'll go over what we're having there.
Do you know who the artists are going to be?
The artists are going to be starting on Friday night at 6 p.m. We're going to have the Camellia line dancers, and at 7 we're going to have the Alley Cats, which is the Brookhaven High School jazz band. And then one of the favorites of the county and our favorite son, Tyler Bridge, will be there on March the 7th, which is Saturday night. And then we'll go to next week. Carly Bagby, I'm sorry, I don't know her, but she does guitar musicals and vocals. She's going to be there from 6:30 to 8. And then on the last night of the fair, the 14th, we're going to bring back the Camellia City line dancers. So it's not Camellia City, that's plugging Macomb, and we're not doing that. But it's the Camellia line dancers.
Camellia line dancer.
Right.
Is Bill Haig in that group?
He needs to be.
Okay.
He's like me. We could both stand a little exercise there.
Yeah. And something that people always look forward to is there going to be bingo?
We won't have bingo, and we don't want to interfere with our bingo from our big fair that we have in August. we're looking into trying to do some things with bingo. That is one area that's tends in this area that a couple of places have lost, are not doing it anymore. It takes quite a bit of work to put a bingo promotion on. So we're looking at maybe possibly going to once a month. I've got to go visit with the folks in Jackson at the commission to see what all the rules and regulations are. Now, as far as we always clear what we do at the big fair and the gifts and all that we give and the prizes and all that has to be worked out. And it's just a difficult to go around to people 3 times a year. A lot easier to go say this is bingo, and it works. We get a lot of good items.
When you say that, as far as bingo and other activities that are at the fair, if you've been in Brookhaven long enough, and which I've been here many years now, and you said it goes back into the 50s?
And early 50s. Yeah. It started in 47. Year I was born, as old as I am, that is the birth of the Exchange Club of Brookhaven.
But you start thinking about the people. When you say bingo, you think about the Ratliffs. When I think about the Ferris wheel, I think about Mr. Stan Long.
That's right.
I'm not going to say I think about John Ogden, but he's over there. But just people that invested so much into that fair. And Doyle Rushing, I know, works up there a lot.
Right.
Danny Gates and the funnel cakes. There's just people that you just automatically think about when you think about Exchange Club Fair.
It's a close-knit little family of people. And I say what sets our club apart from everybody else, the other clubs work, that's for sure, but they don't work year-round like the Exchange Club does. And we're having to look at doing things year-round just to support our organization. And that's why I want to urge everybody to come out this weekend. We're not collecting money just for the fun of it. We have to have a lot of money to keep the park running. We have to have a lot of money for all the different costs that we have that hurt each time a bill comes in. But we've always survived. So we're trying to survive, and we're asking for the community's help to help us in that.
And one thing you do as a club is continuous upgrades. Y'all have improved so many things up there over the years, like the merry-go-round, I just know different. There's some of the kiddie rides, those kind of things.
That's right. And that's a community effort. If you look at it, those little cars are just beautiful, done by the different body people in Brookhaven that painted them and sanded them and did all of that. And then, of course, Barbara Davis had a lot to do with helping us get some of that stuff scheduled. And
are you doing business sponsorships? Like if a business wants to sponsor a particular ride,
we're plugging now. Take on a ride, that's kind of new on the board. But we're hoping that we can get some specific sponsors for the different rides and help us with keeping them up.
It's one of the only private-owned fair like that in Mississippi?
I believe it's the only one.
I'm thinking it is.
I think maybe in Tupelo they have a something like our carousel in the mall and things like that. But as far as
just the whole fair experience.
Right. And I know that probably Bill has mentioned it here before. We've had people come in just to ride our little roller coaster, so they can put it on their check mark that our roller coaster. Now, one idea I want to work on is with our movie industry in Mississippi, that, hey, we've got a little fair here that if you have a movie that you need a promotion place of something in the fair, use us. So we're going to work on trying to get maybe a film or something of what all we've got there and present that to the
We've had a couple of films done here. I mean,
right.
Why not?
So,
it's just, again, if you're listening and you're new to Brookhaven or you're in the surrounding areas, you've not been to the Exchange Club Fair, I would encourage you to come and visit. It's just a small town community event that, and I remember when back to years ago when I first moved to Brookhaven, my wife would tell me, she says, well, if we want to see everybody in Lincoln County, we probably need to go to the fair. Because if you go a couple of nights, most everybody was going to be there, sitting around on the bench, playing bingo, riding the rides, eating the funnel cakes, eating the cotton candy, all those kind of things that you do at the fair.
Well, quick story. One of our doctors has been in here for years, he came to interview some 25 years ago to look at the city and see what it offered him. And he said the fair was going on. So he and his wife went out that night, and he said, we're walking through that fair, and she looked at him and she said, this is where we need to be, when she saw our community effort on that. So he's one of my doctors, and I'm very proud of the work that he's doing here, and I'm glad the Exchange Club helped him decide.
Well, I was going to mention another story just on what the legacy of it is. My oldest son lives in Brandon, and when my two granddaughters up there were younger, now they've gotten older and they're doing so many other things, but when they were younger, when I told them that Exchange Club Fair was coming up on a weekend, they were going to make Daddy bring them down and he told me one time, he said they would rather come to Brookhaven to Exchange Club Fair than to go to Jackson to the State Fair. That's how much they enjoyed it, and they would just ride stuff over and over and over again. But that's the I don't know what the feel of Brookhaven.
Right.
That's just the way Brookhaven
exactly.
is. It's a community, such a great community that takes so much work by you guys that invest so much time over there.
And we're trying to help with things like debit cards. We're going to have debit cards for the gate fee, the souvenir booth, the concessions this time. We've tried it on a few things starting to work, so that'll help people out because many people just simply don't carry cash anymore, and they'll come to the gate and find out, so they have to go out and get cash and come back. So we're trying to alleviate that little problem for the people.
Now, Mr. Roger, also, just throughout the year, you can rent the facility, correct?
It's become a great program for birthday, most of the time birthday parties. And it just gives you a place to bring all the people, have something else for them to do, and kind of a little remembrance. It's and the age group, it varies. We'll have them from 1 to 2 years old up to 18. So we enjoy the fair. Opening the fair for the birthday parties. Again, a lot of work for us. We'd like to have some new members. If you like to work, like to get out of the house, we would call us. We'd be glad to show you around, and we'd love to pull you into the Exchange Club.
Okay, we got about a minute left. Why don't you give the dates and times again, and the entry fee? I don't think we mentioned that.
All right, so we're this Friday and Saturday night, March 6th and the 7th. Again, that's from 6 to 9 on Friday to 5 to 8 on Saturday, and then next weekend, March 13th and 14th, same starting time, 6 to 9 on Friday, 5 to 8 on Saturday. We have a $5 entrance fee, then a $10 armband that you can get if you're going to ride the rides, and can ride as many times as you like on that armband. And, of course, again, we'll mention the entertainment at the stage. We have some chairs and tables set up out there just to come. If you want to just let the kids ride and you want just a place to sit down, be a good place for you.
You turn them loose.
That's right.
Turn them loose. Well, Mr. Rogers, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. We look forward to y'all being open this weekend, next weekend, and hope that everybody turns out for it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
again,
sir.
For this promotion.
Always.
We appreciate
when I see
so
the
much.
sign up, I said I got to get them scheduled to come in and talk about the fair, because it just means so much to Brookhaven. It really does. So, again, thank you. Randy, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Mr. Chasten Bullock.
At Brookhaven Monument Company, we understand that a monument is more than a stone. It's a promise to remember.
Since 1947, families across Southwest Mississippi have trusted us to tell their loved one's story with dignity and care. We offer quality craftsmanship, stellar service, and one of the largest selections of memorials in the region.
Visit us at 807 Highway 51 North in Brookhaven or call 601-833-5701.
Brookhaven Monument Company, honoring life with lasting beauty.
All righty, we are back with the last segment of Thursday Open Line, and I do appreciate our sponsors. We've mentioned them throughout the show. I want to mention one more time before we stop today that Mississippi School of the Arts is doing a spring dance concert tonight. They wanted us to mention that starting at 7 o'clock at Enoch Black Box Theater. Well, we can always get Mr. Chasten Bullock in if we need to talk about a lot of stuff because he is so busy up at the Civic Center, and it's really fixing to get kicked off again for spring activities.
Yes.
I was with not only just what you're doing down the hill. If you're not familiar with it, down the hill is the Civic Center, baseball, the arena, not just a horse arena, just the arenas, the Civic Center building. Up the hill is Hansel King Complex.
Yeah.
And I had a grandparent telling me earlier this week that their little grandchild has signed up for Tiny Tot baseball,
awesome.
First time ever. And I was like, well, you're in for an experience then.
Yes.
That's going to be fun. I said, and she said something about, well, I may fall asleep in my rocking chair. I said, no, you won't. They'll have to pull you off the fence because it's going to be that exciting. Well, Chasten, y'all, every time you're on, we just talk about how much stuff goes on at the Civic Center, what it means to Brookhaven, and just the revenue that people, and we like, what are we talking about revenue for? You generate revenue for Lincoln County. There's a lot of events go up there that bring people into this county.
That's right.
That buy gas, eat, stay, all those kind of things. You think, well, that's just up there for fun. No, it's not just for fun. It's an investment into this community.
Yeah, everything we have that brings people in. All the events that we bring in is just, and I say we bring in, it's just promoters come to us and say, hey, we would like to have this here. We'd like to have this here, whether it's some kind of horse riding show, or, like a consignment store in the building, or baseball.
That kicks off this Saturday.
That does. Kicks off Saturday.
Jamboree starts Saturday.
Yeah, weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
We're playing until we can't. So, that's the thing is, we can't predict Mother Nature and we can't control Mother Nature. So all we can do is just live with Mother Nature and, just plan accordingly. And then if she wants to interrupt it, she can.
Well, nobody's even mentioned the car show downtown Brookhaven Saturday.
True,
so it's going to be that's a weather impact event. I mean, you're down here as long as you can not be in the rain.
Yeah, that's right. And this, like baseball, it's going. We've got state tournaments and stuff that are going to be played on 4th of July weekend. So lots of people coming in for that weekend. Plus, we have the fireworks show. So I guess Becky, if you're listening, I got to call you and talk about that. So
we kind of need to have a conversation about that one. But that's always a big turnout for that.
Yes.
I know, and thank Becky, Vince, Sally, all those that make that happen, and Jason make that happen.
Yeah, they do a good job with that, and and that tournament that we're going to have on the 4th of July weekend, and Brookhaven didn't even have a team in that because it's what we call D2, so it's not D1. We're D1. We're a D1 facility, and we're bringing D2 people in. So we're bringing in people from all over the state from here. So
did you have to bid on that?
We did have to bid on that. Yeah, you have to bid once a year on these tournaments, and of course the highest price goes. So we're fortunate to get a tournament for a decent price. They're not cheap. But you get them to bring in more people and to bring in more revenue. But all those people got to eat somewhere, sleep somewhere. And just they got to be somewhere here.
And we've talked about this before, I'm sure. Is when you say they need somewhere to stay, there have been times when you've had events up there that every hotel room in Brookhaven has been booked, correct? And they have to go outside Macomb or Crystal Springs or somewhere else to get a reservation somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we have some Airbnbs here too that they benefit from these things as well too. So I know when we bring the Wildlife Expo in, we've got National Wildlife Turkey Federation statewide calling contest down here now, and they get Airbnbs and stuff to stay. So, and they bring in people from all over the country just about. I mean, we had like 5 or 6 different states represented at the last Wildlife Expo. We got Arts and Craft Expo coming up in May, first inaugural Arts and Craft Expo. So we'll have a bunch of different kind of artists here, like painters and
who did we have on talking about that? Because they said that was coming up, first annual.
Emmeline.
It might have been Emmeline talking about it. This is is this something y'all have come up with, or did somebody say, "Hey, we'd like to do this"?
We at the Civic Center and the Civic Center commissioners had sit around and talk to track what can we do in the springtime to kind of bring something in, something different, something that, not a spring fair or nothing like that. So what can we do to bring in, just bring something new? And we kicked around a lot of ideas and finally come up with this Arts and Craft Expo. And it's going to be. Right now, we got a good bit of vendors coming, and
I was just fixing to ask, how's the vendors?
And
market?
I think this first year, I think it's going to be free to the public. So, it's not going to cost you nothing to come out there and see pottery and artists, that paint stuff. We're going to try to have some workshops for people to learn some stuff about different art and. We have a lot of artists around Brookhaven.
I was going to ask you, is it local artists, or is it statewide, or even beyond statewide?
Yeah, it's statewide, or whoever wants to, come up there. But we have a lot of local artists that will be there too. So stuff that I didn't even know we had, like Hummingbird House. There's a guy around here builds hummingbird houses and pottery. Several different people do that. So got a lot of good things that are going to be there. So.
And you mentioned something about a wood.
Oh yeah,
the wood. You had me confused there a while ago about that. Like, what are we talking? Wood magic.
It's called wood magic. Yeah. So they do it with the Forestry Commission. Brings in skidders and different things that people do with, let's say, with wood, like cutting wood down. What's wood used for, and different sawmills and stuff like that. So kind of an educational thing, and they bring in the schools, and the schools are the ones who come in and see this, so they get to walk around and see the different things. I got into a skidder last year, and that's the thing that pulls the wood and stuff.
Pull the wood out, pulls the tree out of the woods.
Yep. So I got into it. I didn't know which way it drove, so I didn't know which way was forward or backwards. Surely didn't know how to start it. They are so much electronics and so much that goes into just driving what they call a skidder, So, it's very educational, even for some of us adults who we don't get to see that at all, So, some of us guys like big trucks and big toys like that. So, but it was pretty interesting. And that's going to be that's March 23rd through the 26th. So. It's going to be a pretty good event right there for the
that's
kids.
Going to be up there several days.
Oh,
that's going to be going on.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. Several horse shows, and barrel races, and some.
Back to the wood show just a second. In working at Entergy and working with sawmills and stuff, and I'll tell somebody, I said, when you see and you're talking about all this equipment, but when you see a log at the sawmill, you forget. The technology of the lasers reading that log. And they used every inch of that log.
Oh,
and just the technology of that business is like, oh, no, it can't, just logging. No, it's more than just logging.
I used to help at the Ag Museum a lot and working with the cotton gin and doing stuff up there. And they have a sawmill up there just for people to come by and see. And they saw logs and stuff up there. And it's just, it's cool to see what it used to be to what it is now.
Yeah, Rex Lumber, I'm just going to give them a plug. It's a state-of-the-art sawmill, and they do a lot of stuff up there that people, the technology, you can't even imagine what they do.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the horse shows at the arena.
Yeah, we've got several, barrel races and some roping and a couple team pennants coming up, throughout the month, this month and next month.
You said something about a dog agility?
Yeah, the next month. April 23rd through the 26th, we have the Bark Dog Agility Show, and that's always an interesting thing. I hear a lot of things out there. I hear a lot of people complain about dirt and this and that, and everybody's a special breed baseball, and then you got horse people and then dog people. It's all like just a different breed of people that do all this stuff, and it's interesting to see, but. Just some of the nicest people, that you'll meet.
Will that be in the arena?
It'll be in the arena, and they'll have agility stuff that they'll go do, and you'll get to see all types of dogs doing it. So It's a pretty cool event. Just sit and watch.
Kind of like what you see on the television with the dog.
That's right.
Agility.
Yeah.
Well, probably it's the same thing.
It is. Yep. And they'll be there for, they'll be in there early and getting set up, but still, that whole thing is just a cool thing to watch too. So a lot of good, interesting things that I've learned that come out there.
Like I said at the beginning, if you, I don't know how you have time to schedule all this stuff. And poor old Emmeline, you must be, she's like, what did I do?
Yeah, when I was coming here, I said, what do I need to mention? So I have to get permission what I can mention and stuff.
Well, right now you can mention that spring baseball kicks off here. Saturday,
it does.
Weather permitting, up to the time of we get our rain.
Yeah. We are playing as long as we can.
We want to mention the car show downtown. Everybody loves the car show downtown, and I don't think Mr. T. Tommy's doing that this year, but everybody loves coming downtown with a car show and then eating downtown. Such a great downtown.
Yeah, I think he said he was somebody else was handling that this year. So,
and then after baseball, you got arts and craft. You said in March, March or May?
That's May. That'll be May 2nd. It's a one-day event. It's a Saturday event. So, May 2nd we have a one-day event there. So, it's going to be a good. I think the Arts and Craft Expo is going to be a really good thing. I'm interested and excited to see it and all the things that are going to be in there.
Okay. But we got 1 minute left. Anything you need to talk about?
Well, I mean,
just watch the website for calendar of events.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go to our website, LincolnCivicCenter.org. And
it's a new website, right?
It is a new website. Miss Emmeline has worked really hard at getting it going. And, we have our schedule in there and some different things. So,
you know what that means?
That's right. And we got a new newsletter that she sends out, the Beltline.
But you hear what Randy's doing to us?
Oh yeah, he
every day, every Thursday he does this.
I know, he just kicks us off.
All right, we're gonna say goodbye. Right. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you, Randy.